Peter Lozier.
Yes to that question. I was like, okay.
I just won the Tables and Towers Ghost from the Past 2K tournament.
Okay. And what deck were you playing?
Swordsoul today.
Any shout-outs?
Yeah, first of all, biggest shout out to my guys, Ozone TCG. Please remember to check out the affiliate link below in the description, tcgplayer.com. Shout out to Sean Washington on Ozone, top 8 of the Charlotte, gave me the idea to play Swordsoul again. Deck is fantastic and I've been loving it. Shout out to everyone on my Discord, all my usual friends, Gabe for getting smited, whatever it is, by life as usual. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and Tables and Towers hosting another great tournament. Love this place.
Alright, let's get into it.
Okay, so Tenyi Swordsoul, not too many interesting things. Deck's just very solid. 3 Ecclesia, 3 Long Yuan, 3 Moye, 1 Taya. This is one of the decision points. I opted 3 Ecclesia, 1 Taya because with Branded in the format and this deck being able to beat Branded if at least like 5 out of 6 cards in your hand are live, it's extremely important that you do not see multiple normals. And with Desires being at 1, the chances of this getting banished and then being unusable are extremely slim. So I was very happy with this. Also, I do play Hulk, so Ecclesia being a tuner is extremely important.
How many cards is your deck?
40 cards.
40 cards?
Clean 40, yep. Did not want to go over. Another big reason I wanted to play this. Just wanted to see the cards I put in here. So that's those. Tenyis, we maxed out on pretty much everybody relevant. 3 Ashina, 3 Bashuda, 3 Adhara, the 1 Shithana. There is Heavenly Dragon Circle in the deck. It is excellent into Branded, which I of course went and played against none of today, but has other relevant times it comes up. Heavenly Dragon Circle to dodge skill drains, targeted removal, it's just great. It also lets you do things if you can, if you don't need the battle phase, crashing monks to clear stuff is great. Was happy I played as many of these as I did. I always love drawing Adhara because, like I said, I'm on Hulk, so I just want to have tuners.
What makes it good against Branded Circle?
When they go Mirror Jade, so you summon Vashuda ideally, which is a card they need to banish because it outs their fusions. If they go Mirror Jade to attempt to banish your monster, you chain Heavenly Dragon Circle, and then the Tenyi goes away. It goes to Graveyard where it's safe. You get another worm, you have to banish one of their own monsters.
Oh, that's nice actually. That's really nice.
Clears a lot of breathing room. So just very happy to have all these. That's that. There were only 8 hand traps in the deck, 9 defense total, 3 Ash, 2 Pro, 3 Imperm, and then the 1 Qualify is the last card I call defense. These are just generically extremely useful. Also, this is searchable in the deck because of Chow Fang, which you will just do against Branded because it cuts off their best card. And the rest of these are just good generally. Didn't draw this a lot, saw this plenty, and they were good against the decks I played against, so I was happy for that. Being 40, it's hard to fit more defense than this, but it just worked out. This deck can just play into a lot of things, especially when you're at 40 and you draw live cards. Spell cards, 3 Emergence, 3 Vessel, 2 Circle. I've always liked Vessel more than Circle, so I always want to max this card. You do have to side it out going second into Branded, just because the threat of your Tenyi getting banished when you make a monk is too high for this to actually be live enough. But I loved it a lot. Going first, this is just what I want to see. 2 of this card's fine, trending towards good, but I was happy with 2, even though there's no real logic behind it. 1 Desires, bring it back to 3, please.
Valor Imperm kind of falling out of the format makes the circles a little less live too.
Yeah, Valor especially. Another thing I like with this deck is that, with some exceptions for Ash, every 6th draw of the defensive cards is live, or if they come off Moye or Desires or anything like that. And that's really important because this deck can very frequently play into stuff and kill your opponent. The defense can't be stagnant like Effect, or limited like Effect Valors especially. So I was happy to have those ones. And last card, Blackout, which definitely still play. Extra deck, 3 10s, Cheng Ying, Baroness, Qixing Long Yuan. Only won 2 dice rolls today, so I only ever got to summon this a couple of times, but this is the reason I want to play the deck. You just ignore the possibility of Nibiru in game 1, so you do the draw 2 combo, and it's fantastic. You just get way ahead on cards, and this card is amazing, especially with all the Brave decks.
Gives you a draw 2 and also has 2 interruptions against a lot of decks.
Exactly. Just an above rate card for worms.
2 for 1.
Yep. 1/9, the Chow Fang. Lightlock is relevant as anyone with Eldritch cards in their deck. Cursed Outland can cut these decks apart a little bit, but you can just end on this and it's a problem for them. Shuts off Lubellion and Despine Quiritus if you don't pop it with Baroness, which is just relevant. Those cards are good, especially Quiritus can crack your board open, again, if you play against Branded. But yeah, I like this a lot. Draco Berserker, 2 Chi-Shao, 2 Bashia for the 8s. Because there is Hulk in here eating up space, there are no utility 8s like Dragite or Crimson Blader or anything. You just need this one because there are hands where if you make Chi-Shao with only 10s and you go search a normal to get a draw off the Moye, this is what you end up making. And then 2 of this, we don't want to go below it. I love this card. It's one of the reasons I play the deck, and 2 Chi-Shao is perfectly fine. Yazi's the only 7, another one of my favorite cards. And then the Lynx, Fiber, Auroradon, Shaman, 2 Monks. So, would want the 3rd Monk to stream in grindier games, but only came up about once today, and it was a game I was going to lose anyways. Shaman is great over the Herald of the Arclight spot because this turns around games that could be losses, whereas Arclight is a card I feel that hammers home games that are already won, so I never really missed Arclight.
I don't think I've seen a list playing Shaman and Helk like frequently before. It's typically one or the other, so it's cool to see them like side by side.
Yeah, space can get a little tight. Like I said, we're down a Monk. Fiber Auroradon, I love this a lot. This is just so much gas off of 2 monsters because you get Yazi, you start clearing out your opponent's board, you summon Taya, your opponent just starts losing very quickly. Also, I've gotten debarriered a few times, and this gives you a backup play into that. You're supposed to summon all your tokens in attack mode when you're going second, and if you normal or you long yuan, you reveal, and they debarrier you, as long as they have a monster in attack mode, you can crash the token and then go into this, and you get some utility. Auroradon can pop a card, or you contribute 3 tokens and add back an imperm, which I've done. Just fantastic pair of cards. Would not play the deck without them.
When you're making that package to go into breaking boards, do you do this first to bait interruptions, or do you try to like play through with what you have and then do that as like the backup play to secure it?
Depends on the sequencing I have to go through. The only restriction this deck goes under is either the Swordsoul token saying you can only Synchro Summon, or Ashina locking you into Worms. So if I can do this before resolving Ashina and still keep the card relevant, I'll do that, because this is also great bait. People know this needs to be stopped because it's a lot. And but it really all depends on the hand. Hands without Ashina, you're a little more free, especially if you have an Ecclesia that's going to be live to come out. That's that. Side deck, 3rd DD Crow, 3 Ghost Spells. Huge amount of respect for Despia or Branded, which I then played against none of. This also has relevance against Prank Kids, though. Also, a live 6th draw against either DPE, or not DPE is coming back, but against Prank Kids, hitting the Bow Wow is relevant. The way this deck works is that frequently, even though there is Rite of Aramis or Griffin Rider in the format, this trading for either that or one of their cards can just open up the game state to where if you resolve Taya and Devassia, you can win. More defense. I cited a lot of cards for going second as well. Chalice, this was in over Droplet. Every single person who's top of YCS with Branded has Token Collector in their side decks. I respect that card a lot. It is insanely effective against this deck because it floats, it keeps coming back. So I opted for this over Droplet because with Desires being down to 1, I didn't want to expend the hand economy to Droplet a Token Collector. That does not feel like a winning play. So I was very happy with this. This also has other relevant things. Prank Kids is not supposed to shuffle back the Meow Meow against this deck, I believe, because our goal is to kill them, and this clears one of the Butler activations. Also hits Scythe. So.
Do you feel like you weren't as worried about Scythe since you're not playing the Droplet?
I wasn't as worried about Scythe. I expected a lot of Branded and then a lot of Prank Kid, and I saw no Branded. I saw a lot of Swordsoul Mirrors, actually. Had I been more prepared for the Swordsoul Mirror, it might have had an easier time, but I did win all of them, so was ultimately fine. And then Chalice is just so extremely usable. A lot of back row hate. This also covers Flunderies, though. I like this better than Twin. I generally don't side in back row removal against decks that I think are normally monster combo type decks and then would put in anti-spell, Swordsoul being a good example. I'm just not going to do that. I'll put in the Reboot, and I'll keep in the hand trap so that I shrink their board so that the anti-spell is less impactful, and I can generally, and hopefully I don't have a handful of spells, if I have 1 or 2, the shooter can clear the anti-spell and I can go from there. But yeah, I did play against Flunderies in the semifinals. I didn't draw this, but it's my favorite card against that deck because it either forces the field and the trap or it kills Statue and Empen, which I feel like I'm winning the game if that happens. And then these are just great. This is about one of the only cards in the game that stops debarrier from happening, so it has to be in here. And then last card was 3 debarrier. I did not opt for any of the Floodgate type cards that other people who play this deck play, namely Anti-Spell and Rivalry. Cards are good, extremely ignorant, even have some going second applications, but I expect people to bring in their back row hate against Swordsoul, and especially Lightning Storm if they have it, because Lightning Storm is exceptional against this deck, and I wanted Chainables to be live that can go off. I also didn't want to get hand trapped or token collected and then be stuck under my own anti-spell when I try to win the game later. That said, didn't play against any Brandon, so this never came in.
Were there matchups where that felt dead? I'm guessing all of them then, if you said you didn't play Brandon, so it didn't go in.
This never came in today.
Not even for mirrors?
Did I go first in any mirrors? I didn't go first in any of my mirror matches, I believe. Maybe one. I think one mirror match I ended up going first. A lot of 2-0 matches today. But I didn't draw. And yeah, that's it. Clean 40 cards, was very happy with the deck.
All right, thank you for the profile. Any closing thoughts?
Very happy the deck is functional. People keep not playing Nibiru as much, makes the deck just a lot of fun to play. Playing it into Branded in my testing at least has been a lot of fun, very interactive game. So yeah, looking forward to see how the format develops with this in it.